morning, Abotai. Erev Shabbat Shalom. A few days ago, we were speaking about the halachot of brachot and Aikar v'tafel, primary and secondary. We mentioned, in passing, based on the Gemara on Masechet Berachot of Lamed Zayin, Maran Shulchan Aruch brings it down Siman Reshchet, that anytime there is a grain item, a mizonot item involved in any mixture, the halacha is that the mizonot always takes precedence. The Chamishet Mine Dagan, the 5 types of grain, take precedence over any other bracha, even if it's just a little bit and it's there for taste. For instance, sometimes there's a pastry called baklawa. It's made with a little bit of phyllo dough, but over there it's there for taste. The majority of it is walnuts, pistachios, honey, whatever. The halacha on that is still that it is borei min mizonot, regardless of the thin amount of dough over there, since it's for taste. The same thing, it's a machloket poskim, but according to Maran Zichrono Livracha, Agaon of Moshe Levi, and others, the halacha is when you have schnitzel that is coated with breadcrumbs. And it's not just a thin layer of breadcrumbs so that it doesn't stick. It's breadcrumbs that are there for flavor. Ledat, Maran Shulchan Aruch, the halacha on that is that it will be borei min mizonot for that kind of schnitzel. However, if the mizonot is there not for flavor, it's there only to, only for binding purposes. For instance, let's say a person's making a cake, and he puts a very, very small amount, let's say you're making a fruit cake, and there's eggs and sugar and fruit and whatever, you put a very, very little amount, let's say a tablespoon of flour inside just for binding. The other ingredients are going to be the aikar. That's going to be she'akol, the flour is the tafil. Or sometimes, we can infer this from the words of the Rambam also, sometimes a person makes a sauce or a soup, and he puts a little flour inside just to thicken it a little bit, not for taste. The halacha is also that flour doesn't become mizonot. The bracha is whatever, if it's she'akol ha'adama, whatever it is, the flour does not become the ikar. Very similarly, sometimes when a person's making burgers or meatballs, or sometimes butchers do it in order to toughen, firm the consistency of ground meat, you put a little breadcrumbs inside. Many people do it for meatballs and burgers. Over there, when you put only a little bit inside just to make it a little bit firmer, the halacha is that the burgers or the meatballs remain shehakol. It doesn't turn mizonot because of the breadcrumbs, since you're only doing it for consistency and not for flavor. Be'ezrat Hashem, next week we'll continue with more of these halachot. Have a wonderful day. Shabbat Shalom. And this evening, Be'ezrat Hashem, Mincha Kabbalat Shabbat and Arvit is at 5:10. Shabbat Shalom Burach.